Okay, so all right, I can finally get to this. So chat said Clan is about to crash out. Why would I crash out? So right now I'm on Twitter. Okay, there's a Wimby interview. Wondering. Okay, no. All right, we can look at that another time. There's Stephen A. Smith being stupid as always. Wait, what is Stephen A. Smith saying right here?
Dates back more than a decade. I believe he's one way publicly, he's another way privately. You know, he might not be interviewed and he might not be quoted, but the things he says and the things he has said to people, it's gotten back to me. The things that he's tried to do, if it were up to him, I wouldn't be where I am today. It's some low. The day that he rolled up on me courtside, it was the day my contract was announced, that I had stayed with ESPN. Go back.
Wait, he's talking with Carmelo? God, I low-key want to watch that. Do they copyright stuff? Do they copyright claim their stuff? Okay, I know this isn't what you guys are talking about. Stephen A. is so annoying. Yeah, I can't stand Stephen A. Smith. Oh, crap. Yeah, I can't stand Stephen A. Smith. His ego is incredible. And then the news of him saying, maybe I can run for president. Please, no. Please don't. No, please don't do that. What is this? He talks about Kyrie. Okay, there's a lot here. Anyways, besides the point. All right, let's see what you guys are talking about. What if I just type in Jeremy Sochan? Will that suffice? I'm sure that'll suffice. Just type in Jeremy Sochan. Jeremy Sochan. Oh wait, that just went to his stuff. Jeremy Sochan. What did I miss today? All right. Okay, so Jeremy Sochan not getting his extension. Or no extension right now. That's not that crazy. That's not that crazy. You guys wanted me to crash out over this? Here it is right here. That's not that crazy because I think there's plenty of players on their rookie contract that's not going to get an extension, right? Like that's not that crazy. That doesn't mean, in my opinion, that doesn't mean anything. I'm sure the Spurs are just evaluated at the end of the season. But, I mean, he's going to be a restricted free agent, right? So they can just match it. But yeah, he is betting on himself. Yeah, that could possibly be it. I just don't think that's that crazy. Dyson Daniels got a 4-year, $400 million contract? Dyson Daniels did? Well, I'm not expecting him to get anything like that. Yeah, okay. I'll look it up. I also want to look up the people who didn't get an extension. Let's see. Dyson Daniels. Agrees to a 4-year, $100 million. Huh. Dyson Daniels, he's not really scoring that well, is he? Because when he came in, because I really wanted Dyson Daniels. I really like Dyson Daniels. But he had a broken jump shot coming into the league. Is it still broken? I didn't watch him last season that much. Let's see. Oh no, it wasn't. It was pretty good. Pretty good jump shot. 34% is not bad at all. On 3 attempts. Yeah, that's not bad at all. So he's improving. Okay. Look, I'm not that worried about it. There's lots of players here. If I try to find other players that didn't extend that, obviously their respective teams will want them back. Am I lagging? I was lagging for a sec. Why am I lagging? Anyways, let me. I don't know, the saturation is weird. I don't know what's going on. Let's see here. Okay, Evan Siddery posted something. Notable players who will now become restricted free agents in 2026 after not agreeing to a rookie scale extension with their teams. So got Jaden Ivey, Benedict Mathurin, Tari Eason. I would be shocked if they wouldn't want Tari Eason back, right? That's one. Jalen Dern. Everybody and their mama tells me how we should have got Jalen Dern. Mark Williams. I don't really know what's going on with the Mark Williams stuff. I really like him as a player, but I don't know what's going on. Walker Kessler. Obviously, they will want to try to keep him. Peyton Watson. Abaji. I don't know. I don't think it's that big a deal. I'm not crashing out. Yeah. I won't crash out. Yeah, 400 would be crazy. Well, when I thought about it a little bit, I mean, 25 million a year is not that crazy. But Dyson Daniels, he is a very good player. Yeah, we'll just wait and see. But that doesn't take away from anything, right? It's a new era nowadays where solid role players are getting $400 million. Yeah, I thought I heard you say 400 million in 4 years. It's actually 100 million in 4 years, which is a big difference. Some of these players are getting their bag somewhere else. I think worst case scenario from this is that they trade him before the deadline, to be honest. I want him on the team, by the way. Yeah, that's probably the worst case. That's the thing, right? That is certainly the worst case scenario. Look, first off, I don't think this is that big a deal. All right, I'll throw that out there right off the bat. I don't think this is that big a deal. Plenty of other players that, they're holding off. I mean, teams got to be super smart with their money. And as the chatter even brought up, possibly it's Sochan. Just he could be betting on himself as well, right? Number two, the San Antonio Spurs always make smart deals. They're not going to just let Jeremy Sochan go. So if it came down to a trade, which I don't think is going to happen, I don't see the Spurs doing it. He's very important to this team. I'm sorry. When you have a player that you're constantly putting on the best opposing players, like I don't see the Spurs just like willy-nilly giving him up for nothing, just saying, all right, you can get out of here. So the trade would be really good if there was a trade, but I don't think there will be. Okay, I'll throw that out there. But also it could very well just be kind of waiting it out, right? With his value right now, maybe the extension, they just couldn't really come to an agreement about it. I wonder if there's any articles on this so far. Like I said, I'm just now finding this out, but I'm not tripping about it. All right, if I type in Jeremy Sochan, let's see. There's Pounding the Rock. They just posted it. All right. They have... it's not that lengthy. Let's see if they have a take on this. Spurs and Jeremy Sochan failed to come to an extension agreement. The deadline to sign players to a contract extension came and went at 5 p.m. Central. I didn't even know. I wasn't keeping up, to be honest. And one player whose name never came up is Spurs forward Jeremy Sochan, who is eligible to sign his rookie contract extension. Sochan isn't the only key player from the 2022 draft class who didn't sign an extension, with other key names including Walker Kessler, Benedict Mathurin, and Tari Eason. It may come as a bit of a blow to Sochan that he didn't get an early extension. It has not been said why there was no agreement, but there could be numerous reasons. Be it they were far apart on his value. Maybe he felt he had more to prove and could earn a higher payday next summer. I think that's probably what it is, right? And or perhaps the team had concerns about his ever-growing injury history. Is it crazy for me to just say, is this my bias speaking when I say that ever-growing injury history is like a little overblown? I mean, last season, yeah, it was kind of strange. This off season hasn't been the best, but like, I don't know. I mean, he's only been in the league for 3 seasons. Wait, 3 or 4? How many seasons has he been in? 3 seasons, right? 3 seasons. Yeah. He's only been in the league for 3 seasons, and thus far, like, he has a season where he played nearly 80 games, like nearly all the games. So I don't know. I haven't seen Jeremy Sochan as like injury prone, but might be my bias speaking a little bit. I have pretty high tolerance for that when it comes to players and injuries. I'm very slow to say someone's injury prone though. Regardless, Sochan will have another season to prove his worth, and he can definitely do that if he remains the Spurs' best perimeter defender and improves on his outside shooting. Well, we've seen that definitely looks better, at least his form. He can still sign an extension next summer. A recent example of a player not signing a contract after year 3, but doing so after year 4 would be Aldama. He after becoming a restricted free agent, if the Spurs pick up his qualifying offer, meaning they can continue to negotiate with him or have the opportunity to match any offer he receives from another team. Yeah, so like we're good. It comes down to this, if the Spurs want him, they're going to have him. And in my opinion, Jeremy Sochan is such a good player that the Spurs are going to want him. That's how I feel about Sochan. I think Sochan's a very good player, very good role player, really good role player. One of the best role players, especially when you're talking defense in the NBA. So I could very well much so see the San Antonio Spurs making something happen. But him betting on himself, not that crazy, not that out there. We know that Sochan, during a podcast that we watched not that long ago, he kind of mentioned that, right? He was like, one thing that he's really trying to do is make sure that he gets a nice extension, because he's like, once you get that extension, you're set for life, just about, right? Like, that's when you're actually comfortable in the NBA. He didn't say the comfortable word, that's just me saying it. But he did say that on the podcast, where that's something that he's really working towards, is that extension. So that means a lot to him, and maybe he didn't want to just take like any offer, right? He wanted to make sure that he can get paid, and he's part of everything going forward. So that's okay. If they don't pick up his qualifying offer, then he will become an unrestricted free agent, obviously. So let's see here. Sochan has been very solid contributor for the Spurs in 3 years when healthy. Drafted 9th overall in 2022, he has averaged 11.4 points, 6.1 rebounds, and 2.8 assists, while shooting a career high 53.5% from the field, 30.8% from 3 last season. He has endured a couple of years of playing in experimental positions. Lord God, has he. That's another reason why I give him like a lot more leeway. And it also makes sense from his perspective to make sure like he gets to prove himself in that position this season as a power forward, because literally the last couple seasons he has not been able to do that, right? You've had him play point guard for a myriad of games. You had him play backup center for many games. So I think the Spurs do believe in him, but Sochan is like, hey, I can up my value, right? Which is fine. Including a point guard during his second season and center last season. He has developed good high-low chemistry with Victor Wembanyama and is a reliable three-pointer away from being one of the best role players in the league. Thank God someone said it. Hopefully he can stay healthy and prove his worth to the Spurs this upcoming season. He is expected to miss at least the season opener against Dallas on Wednesday after suffering a mild wrist sprain while working himself back into shape from a calf strain while playing with Team Poland in the summer. So yeah. Wait, there's comments that come with this? I never noticed the comments on these. What? Okay, no, I am not making fun of anybody. What type of people would comment on these? These would be old heads, right? Like, I just couldn't see myself commenting on an article anywhere, but I mean, I would just retweet it. Let's see. I think Sochan is similar to Jonathan Isaac in Orlando. Sochan may be a better passer and even rebounder, but I believe Isaac is a better defender at this point, in my opinion. Neither shoots particularly well, and both have had injury issues, so I can see similar value, which is about $15 million a year. Sochan will get more than that. Jeremy hasn't had nearly the kind of catastrophic injuries Isaac has had. It's not even comparable. Jeremy need... Wait, who is this person? This isn't the... Why is their stuff highlighted? Are they the OP? No, I don't think they're the OP. What is that? Huh. Okay. Yeah, it's not comparable. Just about right. After all the failed weird experiments of the organization, no way to calculate accurately his present value. That's a good point. Step 1, use Jeremy in weird ways. Step 2, blame his usage in weird ways for why we don't have his value. Step 3, profit. A lack of contract extension is not the end of the world. In Jeremy's case, it may be a good thing. 1, okay, I like this. Hold on, let's read. I like different perspectives, especially when they agree with me. I love different perspectives when they agree with me, guys. No, I'm just kidding. I'm open. 50 a year? Of course not 50 a year. But Jeremy Sochan, as far as how much he'll get made, is way more than 15. Like, that's disrespectful. It'll be 20 to 30, like 25 to 30 probably. When you initially saw, I read it wrong. So when you initially told me Dyson Daniels had $400 million in 4 years, I was like, Jesus, like that's insane. But when you actually look at the article, I think like I kept 400 in my head, then I looked at the article and I thought it said 400 again. But no, like 100 is not that bad. So yeah, he make about that 25 to 30, I think. If it's less than that, that would be insane. That would be great. But anyways, number 1, assuming that Jeremy's camp would have agreed to an extension if it had matched their expectation in terms of dollars and length, with or without options, it seems clear that the Spurs did not want to commit too much too early. Number 2, so the Spurs want to see more before committing, and they also want to manage their payroll beyond this year, which probably means that this year's team is not the final version of the contender we want to become. Pretty obvious, I know. Number 3, where does it leave Jeremy? Probably in a better position than the past 2 years of experimentation. Given our roster, Jeremy will most likely be used at power forward and maybe small forward or center. It's probably going to be a lot of power forward and center in some occasions. This is Jeremy's natural position. He won't have to overthink and will certainly show his usual grit whilst blending in much better roster with better ball handlers around him. True. He's in a better position right now. Once upon a time, Jeremy at point guard was a wild but necessary experiment. What if Jeremy had developed into an amazing power forward? Not the case, so let's have him back at power forward where he will be our long-term power forward, 4th option in the offense. 4th option? I guess he means starting lineup. And if that's the case, maybe you're saying, what's his name? Harrison Barnes? Like in front of Harrison Barnes? 4th option? I don't know if he's the 4th, at least the scoring option. I don't know if he's the 4th scoring option overall. I mean, I would say number 1 is Wemby, right? Number 2 is Fox. Number 3 is either Vassell or Castle, and then number 4, Vassell or Castle. Actually, I don't know. I think as the season go on, Dylan Harper is going to make it number 3. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like 5th option. I had to go down to 5th. I think Jeremy Sochan's like the 5th option. Yeah. That's okay though. But in the starting lineup, I guess. I mean, if the season works out well, Jeremy will be paid like a starting power forward, staunch defender. If Jeremy does not demonstrate this within an improved roster, then it was a good move to wait. Yeah, it's like that, bro. Like, that's how I feel about it, right? Like, I know that you guys see me as like, you know, like I just love Jeremy Sochan for no reason. Like, some people actually feel that way, but that's not true. I think that he's genuinely a really good player. I think that he is a phenomenal defender, and I think that he is one of the best role players in the NBA. And with that being said, I also am a Spurs fan at the end of the day, right? So I don't see us losing at all in this situation, in this scenario. If the Spurs were to move on from Jeremy, they move on from Jeremy. It was a good reason to do so. It's not too many times where I see the Spurs move on from players and it was a bad move, right? Like I rarely see that. Like the worst time we ever like lost a player was Kawhi, and we had no control over that. He was going to leave regardless, right? But like most of the time I don't see that happen. It's usually a good move. But Sochan, I do believe in him as a player. I don't think that it'll be one of those situations. I think that when the season's over with, he'll get paid. It'll be fine. But yeah, I think all the experimenting did. I agree with all of this. I think all the experiment did like hurt his value a little bit. And he's probably just betting on himself. It might not have been like some big drama or anything like that. Like, guys, can you please give me an extension? It was probably just like, all right, I'm gonna show you. It's all good. I can finally. I'm about to go in my bag, right? I like Sochan a lot, and I like how he closed out games as well. That's another thing I don't bring up enough. I think he's a very good closer. Let's see. Oh my God! Oh no! Jeez. Article comments are no different than Twitter comments. And some of you guys, where Chandler at? I see you, Chandler. Yeah, I'm calling you out right now. I see you in the chat. Guys like Sochan can be found in the G League every year. That is the stupidest comment I've seen. So dumb. Do you know how many points Jeremy Sochan would average in the G League? That is so dumb. That is so stupid. To call that man a G Leaguer. That is so asinine. Good God, bro. Good God. We had Lonnie Walker going off in G League games. We had Luka Samanic going off in G League games. But Sochan's a G Leaguer. You gotta be joking. Holy. I'm so glad Clan didn't overreact. Yeah, to extension. I'm overreacting to this. I'm not even overreacting. This is just dumb. He's just a garbage man. What an idiot. All right. He seems like a nice guy. Oh, okay. Yeah. He seems like a nice guy. He was just overdrafted. He was overdrafted. I'm sorry. How many players would you have taken over Jeremy Sochan in that draft? Like seriously. Hold on. First off, keep in mind the position the San Antonio Spurs were in. We did not have a star at all. You had guys that you wanted to make a swing on, guys that had more versatility. Spurs were looking for versatility. Good God, bro. There's like one player I can think of, which is like, maybe you could say Jalen Williams. Probably a little bit of recency bias, but he's a really good player. But he was older. Let's see. Good God. They overdrafted. That's the craziest thing I ever heard in my life. So Tari Eason is one that didn't get an extension. Oh, sorry. I like AJ Griffin. Tari Eason didn't get it. Mark Williams didn't get it. Abaji didn't get it. Jalen Dern didn't get it. Jalen Williams, but they overdrafted. I'm sorry. I don't agree with that. Dyson Daniels was drafted before him. See? Yeah. You remember our board. On our board, we had, I think the final thing I went with was Dyson Daniels, then Jeremy Sochan. That's what I wanted. Or was it? No, it was, I think it was Dyson Daniels, Sochan, and then Tari Eason. I think that's what we had on our board. I think those are the three we were looking at. Dyson Daniels left. I was like, crap. But you guys know I love Jeremy Sochan, and then we got Sochan, and then it was. But like other than that, like Jalen Dern, I like Jalen Dern I like Jalen Dern a lot, but Jalen Dern is a rim runner, right? I don't want to say he's one-dimensional, but he's what you would typically expect out of just a rim running athletic center, right? Came into the league, I think, kind of at his best. I mean, at least physicality wise. So yeah, so he had a pretty high floor, I think. Just coming into the league. But I don't know how high his ceiling is. But Jeremy Sochan and Dyson Daniels and Tari Eason were all three guys that I felt like had versatility. And at that time, that's what we were pushing, right? We were like, we need versatility. We don't know what's to come. We need guys that can do quite a bit of different things, right? So whenever we do get our superstar, they can fit right in. So those were the guys that fit that bill for me. It was Tari Eason, Dyson Daniels, and Jeremy Sochan. Now, at one point, I did want Shaden Sharp, but then he came across as extraordinarily arrogant, and I was so happy he didn't land to us, which I don't think the Spurs would have grabbed him anyways. Who else do we want that draft? Everyone else we just couldn't get. I was pretty high on Jaden Ivey. I didn't think Malachi Branham. I thought Malachi Branham would fall to the Cavs. Yeah, I thought he would be here. I thought he would go to 14. Sorry, I'm getting off topic. My point is that is very stupid to say that the Spurs overdrafted. Okay. Oh my God. They could have got Jalen Williams? Yeah, well, lots of teams thought that, I'm sure. Johnny Davis got drafted right after Sochan, but sure, we're doing too much. What a dumb. They call him out, right? Come on now. He's not a garbage and not positionless. He's a natural forward who got played in other positions because he's versatile and the Spurs were either injured or not deep enough. Of course, an improved jumper would do wonders for him, but this is unnecessary exaggeration. Exactly, bro. Jay Willis. Is that Jalen Williams? You're not slick. I agree, Maryland. I think it's silly to say Jeremy's garbage. If allowed to play his normal position, he's just fine. They have an experiment with him, they've had to experiment with him out of necessity. A fine example was after Victor's DVT diagnosis. That couldn't be helped. I hope we have a better luck this season with injuries. It's time for us to have a break in that regard. Oh gosh, here he comes. He's like, no, I'm not done. I still have more stupid stuff to say. Reading comprehension is fun. Reading comprehension? Oh, I'm sorry. They misunderstood. They misunderstood this. What a arrogant moron. I can deal with arrogance, right? If you're competent, I can deal with arrogance. If you're humble, I can deal with ignorance. But I cannot deal with arrogant ignorance. That's just woo. Okay, reading comprehension is fun. I called him a garbage man, not garbage. He's a trash eater, a junkyard dog. Shut up! Shut up! No, you are not gonna gaslight. That is such gaslighting. You start off with guys like Sochan could be found in the G League every year. He's just a garbage man. You don't think people would comprehend that as, oh, he handles garbage. This is so gaslighty, bro. I called him a garbage man, not garbage. Shut up. That's just engagement bait. If he had a position, why have two separate coaches not played him at that position? Y'all think he is. Also, you don't pay. Wait, going back to this, actually, a junkyard dog, a role player, you don't pay them? You don't pay a junkyard dog? Are we okay? Are we okay? What would we call Draymond? Also a trash eater. That doesn't even make sense. Anyways, if he had position, why have two separate coaches not played him at the position y'all think he is? Don't get me wrong, I've argued countless times that the biggest malpractice the Spurs as an organization has done over the last 3 years was misuse Jeremy and completely stunt his development. But this is where he is unfortunately. I don't even know. I don't even know. If you feel like they misused him, then why are you just automatically saying, yeah, we need to throw him out? Oh my God. This is such a dumb take. He doesn't comment again, does he? Okay. I think thank God that was over. We'll just read this reply to it. Number 1, injuries to other players, and Jeremy was a better option to fill in than anyone else on the roster. Exactly. Number 2, Sochan is versatile and multi-skilled enough that the experiment of using him in multiple positions was deemed by the coaching staff and front office to be a worthwhile effort. They were viewing him as a positive light, not the negative light that you are erroneously claiming. Yeah, because he's insinuating that he's not a true power forward and they didn't know where to put him because he wasn't good enough in each position. I don't know what he's trying to get at. But yeah, you're insinuating that it was the intention was Jeremy's not good enough, so let's put him in different positions, which doesn't even make sense. Like these NBA teams, as much money that they rack in and as good as these coaches are around the NBA, they wouldn't, it's Popovich that is, Popovich isn't going to willy-nilly play somebody. If you can't fit in any position and you're not good enough, Popovich just ain't going to play you. Like, what is this idea that Popovich, like, think through the history of guys that Popovich has experimented with. He only experiments with guys that he really likes, that he thinks is really good, right? He's done that with George Hill. He did it with Manu Ginobili. Like, he does it with players that he really likes, that he thinks are pretty versatile and you can put them in different positions, that he will experiment with you. Like, the idea that Popovich would play a player that's not good enough and just should be in the G League is asinine. You would just be in the G League. But sure, Jay Willis here knows more than Greg Popovich. We all get it. You don't like Sochan because he doesn't fit your stereotype of basketball positions. Advanced stats actually like him very much, though. This is what I always say. Dude, actually, article comments are kind of banging. I'm not going to lie. This is what I always say. Like, people like, look at the box score, Clan, after a game. And I'm like, yeah, Sochan played great today. But look at the box score, Clan. I mean, well, you look at advanced stats. Look at the box score, Clan. Drives me crazy. Interesting to see people obsess over what position a player plays in 2025. For real, like, what position is Wemby? Like, yeah, he's a center, but watch him play. Is he a center? I don't know. Oh crap. Look at this. What is Wemby's position offensively anyway? There you go. Sorry. It's about the skill set one brings to the lineup, not some meaningless positional designation. Yeah, that's true too. But I will say them having to force Sochan to guard other centers because we don't have a suitable backup center was very hard to watch. You know, another thing that I love about Sochan, this is the last thing I'll say. This is the last thing I'll say about Sochan. Another thing I absolutely love about Sochan is I think that he is the most well-conditioned player we have on the team. At this point, I know that people just say you're glazing, yeah, okay, Clan, whatever. But I truly do mean that. I think that he is the most you guys know what I'm saying. He's just well-conditioned. He's well-conditioned. I mean, the Spurs will play him like 40 minutes in a game, and he doesn't look tired at all. It's very strange. It's very strange. Most injury-prone, too. Shut up. But it's very strange. He's very well-conditioned. Like, when he's out there, they put him out there forever, it seems like. And they'll have him in multitude of positions throughout. But that's one thing that I noticed. I feel like Sochan is out there. It might be a feelings thing. Hold on. I don't think I'm crazy in saying that. It's the last thing I'll look up. I'll go to the... Let's go to... Oh, wait. I want to look at game logs. Wait, this is totals. Wait, we got to go to ESPN. All right, before we look at this really quick, Sochan is a glue guy? Yeah, he is a glue guy. Really quick. Big shout out to today's sponsor, Sleeper. Am I lagging? I'm lagging a little bit. I don't know what's going on. We got to fix that. it was working just fine. Anyways, guys, big shout out to Sleeper. If you guys are interested whatsoever in daily fantasy sports, head on over to Sleeper. Use the promo code CLAN. You'll get 100% match up to $100. Hold on. If I go to the NBA, that's the one I really care about. You can also go to the NBA section of the app, and there's a multitude of different news, injuries, just overall statistics. It's some really good stuff. So if you only care about social media when it pertains to sports, this is where you want to be. But the picks, very easy, very simple, and we'll start doing more and more as the season go on. But it's super simple. You just go over to picks at the bottom. You go over to NBA, and as you can see here, it's just some over or unders, and that's all you got to do. Look at Trae Young. He's in an ice cube. That's cute. But yeah, so if you guys are interested whatsoever, Jalen Brunson, I'm going to go over on that. If you guys are interested at all, please head on over, play some daily fantasy sports. Shout out to the sponsor on this one, Sleeper, okay? So go and use the promo. Make sure you use the link below, okay? With the promo code. That's how you get the good stuff. That's how you get the good stuff. All right. So as I was saying, Jeremy Sochan, ESPN. Game logs. All right. Now, this past season, he was in and out, so I'm not gonna count that one. Let's talk about his healthy season. I felt it was games where he was just in there forever. All right, so October, short month, average 27, average 29. Dang, he low-key went off on this game. Did I go to this game? No, I wasn't at this game. It would have been at Atlanta. 36, and I think that was his rookie year, actually, the game I went to. Yeah, they played him pretty consistently. He would be out there a long time. This game, he was out there for 42 minutes. How long was Wemby in this game? Yeah, Wemby was in it for 36. I just Sochan is constantly like one of the highest play players. Wait, is this the wrong game? This isn't the game I was just looking at, is it? Oh, I think it is the game I was just looking at. Yeah, he's in there forever. They're not putting him in there just cause. Okay, he's in there for a reason. Playing very good defense. He had a horrid game offensively in that one though. But yeah, he plays a lot. Anyways. Shut up, Caps. Shut your mouth. All right. End of segment.